You've spent your whole life trying to be liked, and what has it earned you? Disrespect. Betrayal. The hollow applause of people who forget your name the moment you're no longer useful. Think back. How many times have you swallowed your pride just to keep the peace? How many times did you bite your tongue, hoping your silence would earn gratitude, only to be met with more disrespect? Machiavelli, yes, the original prince of pragmatism, Niccolo Machiavelli, saw through this centuries ago. Men will love you when it costs them nothing, but they will fear you when crossing you has a price. And here is the brutal calculation. Fear is worth 10 times more than love. This is the respect switch. The invisible lever inside you that determines whether the world treats you as disposable or untouchable. Once you flip it, the begging ends. The performing ends. The endless pursuit of approval ends. You become dangerous, not because you shout louder, not because you pretend to be tough, but because others can sense that testing you comes with consequences. Ask yourself, what has being agreeable ever bought you? The world doesn't reward the agreeable, it rewards the unbreakable. And when you finally stop chasing their smiles, when you no longer kneel for applause, you gain something far greater than affection. You gain control. And once you have control, people like you anyway. But not because they truly love you. They like you because they're afraid not to. Here's the paradox. When you stop caring whether they approve, their approval suddenly flows. Why? Because humans instinctively value what they cannot control. So stop begging for applause. Rip their leash off your neck. It's time to stop being liked and start being respected. The need to be liked is not harmless. It's fatal. It strips you of leverage. It makes you predictable. It hands control of your life to anyone cunning enough to withhold approval. This is not kindness. It is slavery dressed up as virtue. From childhood, you were conditioned into this weakness. Teachers reward the obedient student who never questions authority. Employers praise the team player who sacrifices his own dignity for the company. Friends and lovers whisper the same poison. Just be nice. People will like you. But Machiavelli understood the truth. Affection is counterfeit currency. Cheap. Infinite. Worthless. Love and approval are fickle winds. Respect is iron. When you build your life around being liked, you gamble with fake money. People smile, flatter, and pretend to admire you until your usefulness ends. Then the smiles vanish, and you are discarded like trash. Look to history. Kings who tried to be loved were overthrown. CEOs desperate for shareholder approval destroyed their own companies. Politicians addicted to popularity polls became puppets of the crowd, controlled by everyone but themselves. Machiavelli saw this centuries ago. It is safer to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. And yet most people today still choose the drug of approval. Why? Because it feels good. Approval is addictive. Every nod, every smile, every clap on the back delivers a small chemical hit. A rush. Like any drug, it weakens you. You start needing it, depending on it. And others, sharper, colder, will notice. They will weaponize it against you. They will make you dance for it, withhold it to punish you, toss it to you like a dog treat when you obey. When you live to be liked, you negotiate from weakness. You compromise when you should stand firm. You say yes when you should say no. You swallow disrespect to keep the peace. But peace bought with weakness is no peace at all. It's a ceasefire before the next humiliation. The people you try hardest to please are often the first to exploit you. Why? Because they know you won't fight back. That is the trap. When you need others to like you, you give them control of your self-worth. They don't even need to hate you. They just need to make you fear that they might stop liking you. And you will twist yourself into knots to keep them satisfied. This is why Machiavelli warned rulers never to depend on love. Love is voluntary, unstable, emotional. Respect, born of consequence, is rational. A man may love you today and betray you tomorrow if the reward is sweet enough, but he will not betray you if betrayal comes at too high a cost. Modern life is no different. In business, the man who demands respect closes better deals than the man who bends over backwards to be liked. In relationships, the partner with firm boundaries is cherished more than the one who compromises endlessly. In friendships, the one who is willing to walk away is the one who is never disrespected. Being liked is not evil, but chasing it is. Respect will often bring genuine affection anyway, but being merely liked without respect will get you treated as useful, not valuable. Soft, harmless, replaceable. The first step to flipping the respect switch is internal. You must kill your addiction to approval. You must become comfortable being disliked, even hated, if it means protecting your dignity. The moment you stop craving affection, you become immune to manipulation. You stop being a beggar. You stop being predictable. People sense this shift immediately. They see the man who no longer explains himself, the man who no longer seeks permission, the man who does not apologize for existing. And ironically, this is when they start admiring you. Because strength attracts admiration, while weakness only attracts users. If you must choose between being liked and being respected, always choose respect. Love fades. Popularity dies. But respect endures. And respect protects. The respect switch is not a motivational slogan. It is not a mask of fake confidence. It is a rewiring of your very identity. Most people live with the switch turned off. They walk into rooms hoping to be accepted, hoping to win approval, measuring their worth by how many smiles they collect. Face, respect switch flips that upside down. You stop asking, do they approve of me? Instead, you ask, do I approve of them? That question changes everything. The moment you stop craving validation, your presence transforms. Your tone sharpens. Your words shorten. You stop oversharing. You stop apologizing for taking up space. And people notice, they feel it. They see there is no leash around your neck, and that makes them cautious. Machiavelli would call this positioning. A ruler does not beg for loyalty. He defines the terms of loyalty. He does not plead for love. He makes disobedience costly. The respect switch turns you from petitioner to prince. Internally, it means three things. You stop seeking approval. You stop over-explaining. You stop compulsive niceness. You are kind when you choose, not when pressured. Your kindness is a reward, not a default. Externally, it means boundaries, sharp enough to cut anyone who leans too close. The respect switch shows itself when you walk away from disrespect without a word, when you deny manipulators your attention, when you refuse unlimited access to your time and energy. You are polite, but firm, calm, but immovable. They will test you, always. They will poke, guilt trip, provoke, even attack your character. They want to drag you back into the old patterns of seeking approval. If you hold steady, they will adjust. They will learn. And they will respect you. Because with you, there is always a cost to disrespect. Fear does not mean cruelty. It means consequence. When people know there's a price for crossing you, they treat you carefully. That carefulness looks like love, but it is not love. It is respect. The respect switch also creates rarity. When you stop giving yourself away cheaply, your presence gains weight. You're not everywhere, not always available, not begging to be included. Scarcity breeds value. A man who refuses to chase begins to attract. And here is the ultimate paradox. Once the switch flips, you don't need to demand respect. You don't even need to raise your voice. Your aura alone communicates it. You carry yourself as though you need no one, and people adjust. They treat you differently before you even speak. In practice, the respect switch is summed up in one law. You decide who earns your approval, not the other way around. Instead of proving your worth, you make them prove theirs. Instead of performing for others, You make others perform for you. And when you embody this fully, you stop fearing disapproval. You stop caring who likes you. And ironically, they start liking you more than ever. Because humans value most what they cannot control. But thought alone won't win respect. Action enforces it. People don't take you seriously because you think differently. They take you seriously because you behave differently. And that brings us to 5 Machiavellian rules. Not suggestions, laws. Rules that command respect instantly. Rules that make the weak tremble and the strong hesitate. Rule 1. Silence is stronger than defense. The weak over-explain, justify, argue. Every word bleeds power. Every explanation shrinks authority. Power is quiet. When challenged, speak less, not more. Machiavelli knew rulers who justified every move bled authority until they were mocked. But the silent ruler seemed unshakable, even when uncertain. Rule 2. Withdraw approval. Never chase it. When someone disrespects you, do not argue. Do not plead. Withdraw. Stop rewarding bad behavior with your time, your attention, your presence. Let them feel the absence. Let them fear it. The weak beg to stay liked. The strong make others earn their way back, if they allow it at all. Rule 3. Detach emotionally in conflict. Lose control and you lose respect. Rage, whining, tears, neediness in disguise. Machiavelli admired those who stayed cold even when surrounded by enemies. The colder you remain, the more people fear misjudging you. Never let them see what cuts you. Rule 4. Be unpredictable. Predictability is a map for manipulation. If people know you'll always forgive, always bend, always show up, they will exploit it. Keep them guessing. Sometimes reward, sometimes withdraw. Machiavelli warned princes against consistency, because consistency makes you readable, and readable makes you weak. Rule 5. Enforce boundaries without warning. Don't announce. Don't threaten. Act. Cross a line and they pay immediately. Swift. Cold. Decisive. Machiavelli taught rulers to punish quickly, so no one doubted their resolve. These are not tricks. They are not theatrics. They are policies, a personal constitution. And once they are etched into you, the world adjusts. You can obey these rules, or you can be ruled by others. Those are the only 2 options. Respect is not given freely. It is extracted, enforced, and maintained. Those who forget this find themselves slaves to the approval of people weaker than them. Think carefully. How many of your humiliations could have been avoided if you enforced silence instead of chasing explanation? How many betrayals could have been prevented if you had punished disrespect swiftly instead of tolerating it in the name of peace? Ask yourself, who benefits from your hesitation? It is never you. Fairness is a leash. Mercy is a trap. Hesitation is suicide. These are not exaggerations. They are laws of power, written in blood, tested by centuries. Those who broke them lost everything. Those who obeyed them ruled. Machiavelli understood what most men still cannot face. Respect is born from fear, not affection. A ruler who builds on love builds on sand. A ruler who builds on respect builds on stone. The foundation must be fear of consequence, not cruelty for cruelty's sake, but the knowledge that crossing you is costly. The world respects cost. It despises cheapness. You've seen this play out around you. The boss who is too nice gets undermined by his own team. The friend who always forgives becomes the scapegoat of the group. The partner who always compromises becomes the one resented and discarded. But the boss who enforces standards, the friend who won't tolerate disrespect, the partner who walks away without begging, these are the ones who command loyalty. Not because they are loved, but because they are respected. Respect creates stability. Love creates dependency. Dependency breeds resentment, and resentment becomes betrayal. The one who insists on being loved will always be betrayed in the end. Ask yourself, how do you want to be remembered? As the agreeable one everyone liked but no one respected? Or as the one whose presence shaped the room, whose absence was feared, whose name was spoken with weight? Machiavelli wrote that it is better to be feared than loved, but he added something most people forget. It is best to be both. Fear first, then love. Love without fear is weakness. Fear without love is cruelty. But fear, tempered with earned respect, creates loyalty that lasts. And yet people cling to love because it feels warm. Fear feels cold, and coldness scares them. They mistake cruelty for consequence, and consequence for cruelty. But they are not the same. Cruelty is chaos. Consequence is order. The man who enforces consequence is respected. The man who indulges cruelty is hated. Learn the difference. You want an example? Consider Caesar. Loved by the people, adored by the crowd, yet murdered by his own Senate. Why? Because their respect for him was weak. Consider Genghis Khan. Not loved, feared, respected. Entire empires surrendered without a fight, because they knew resistance was suicide. Which of these two names echoes with more power? History whispers the same lesson again and again. Being liked makes you vulnerable. Being respected makes you untouchable. But here's the twist. Respect is not loud. It does not shout. It does not beg to be seen. Respect is silent, subtle, felt, not announced. That is why most fail. They think respect comes from bluster, aggression, posturing. It doesn't. It comes from restraint, from calmness, from never showing your hunger for approval. Look closely at those who command real respect. They rarely raise their voice. They rarely explain. They rarely chase. Their silence cuts deeper than the loudest scream. Their withdrawal hurts more than insults. Their indifference wounds worse than anger. This is because respect is rooted in mystery. When people cannot predict you, they fear misstepping. When they fear misstepping, they treat you with care. Do not confuse this with arrogance. Arrogance announces itself. Respect conceals itself. The arrogant man craves attention. The respected man does not need it. The more you master this, the more the world bends toward you. Opportunities appear. Invitations multiply. Enemies tread lightly. All because your presence demands caution. Not because you asked for it, but because you enforced it. Ask yourself right now, are you still a beggar for approval? Do you still measure your worth by likes, smiles, invitations, validation? If so, you are playing a child's game, and the world will treat you like a child. The moment you stop, truly stop, the world reshuffles around you. Those who once dismissed you fall silent. Those who mocked you fall cautious. And those who underestimated you suddenly remember your name. The respect switch is permanent once flipped. You can never go back, and you should never want to. Once you've tasted the weight of true respect, affection without respect feels like poison. Fake, hollow, manipulative. The road is not easy. You will be tested. People will call you cold, harsh, arrogant. They will say you've changed. Good. That is the point. Change is the price of power. Staying the same is the luxury of the powerless. Every insult hurled at you for enforcing respect is a disguised confession. What they really mean is, you no longer bow to me. You no longer play my game. You no longer need my approval, and that terrifies them. So they will slander you. They will twist stories. They will try to shame you back into obedience. Do not bend. Every second you resist, their respect for you grows, even if they never admit it. This is the Machiavellian paradox. The more they accuse you of being ruthless, the more they secretly admire you. The more they fear you, the safer you become. Because in a world built on manipulation, the man who cannot be manipulated is king. If you followed me this far, you already feel the truth pressing against you. You know you've lived too long, chasing applause, too long swallowing disrespect, too long being predictable. But you also know something darker, that this script is not just philosophy, it is instruction. And if you follow it, your life will fracture. The old you will die, the agreeable you, the needy you, the replaceable you. In his place will rise someone far rarer, someone who doesn't kneel for smiles, someone who doesn't sell their dignity for affection, someone who carries themselves like a blade, sheathed but sharp, silent but deadly. That is the respect switch. Once flipped, it can never be turned off. So the choice is yours. Stay soft, stay liked, stay replaceable. Or step into the fire, kill the weakness, and claim the respect that has always been denied to you. Because the truth is simple. The world does not give you what you deserve. It gives you what you enforce.